Hello, my name is Bonnie Grant. It's very nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us today. I am a licensed independent insurance agent. My business name is Get Help with Insurance. Our goal is to help you get insurance. So why not get help with your insurance from Get Help with Insurance? So today, what we will discuss is different types of insurance products to protect and insure your business that you built with your mind, your heart, your hands, your time and your money. That's probably very important to you. So you want to make sure that it's insured properly and done by a good agent. My agency is run by my husband, Jim, and myself, Bonnie Grant. We are licensed in the state of Nevada. And basically, my husband has 14 years of claims experience where he managed claims departments for Progressive in Houston, Texas. And then he got headhunted to become the state claims manager of Farmers Insurance in Arizona. He fixed the Arizona Farmers Insurance claims department. Their average time to close a claim was 45 days. He got it down to an average of 3 days. Now, this was also back in 2009. Now, Farmers moved us to Nevada, and he did the same thing. So I started the agency in 2009, and he joined me in 2010. So we wanted to become that mom and pop shop that ran an insurance agency here in the big city of Henderson, Nevada. Now, we grew our agency and we had it open for 11 years. In 2020 May, as of that point in time, we grew our book to over $2.5 million in written premium. We built it and we were very, very successful. But as a Farmers Insurance agent and being only able to sell one company, there was something wrong with that picture. We just, we searched and searched for ideas. And then for a lot of different reasons, we decided to start all over again as an independent agent. So we sold our book back to Farmers, left in good standing, and we started an independent insurance agency. We figured out that our customers were going shopping at a lot of insurance companies. So we figured, hey, why not help your customers do the shopping for them for free? So we kind of got an idea and we wanted to give our customers a better insurance shopping experience. Our new agency can now quote around 95 to 100 insurance companies. And I'll go over that in a little bit here, but in a very real way, every insurance company has a specialty. It is our job as insurance brokers to figure out which company programs will meet your wallet and your business insurance needs. So basically what we're going to do today is talk about business insurance today. So why did I get into the insurance business? I was a mortgage banker with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage and General Electric prior to that. After the 2008 crash, I wanted to find a career that wasn't affected by things like the market. Many of you know that the market was affected very, very hard by what was going on in the 2008 crash. So, after further research, I decided to investigate insurance. And the reason why I chose the insurance industry is because I personally was in a very bad accident when I was 20 years old. As you can see in the slide here, I was hit by a dump truck. I was in that little Horizon and it was brand new. It was only 3 months old and he ran the red light and I went into the hospital for 3 weeks. I literally connected all the dots, and that's why I literally became and physically became an insurance agent. I started my own scratch agency with Farmers Insurance in March 2009. And the reason basically is if my mom didn't have good insurance, I wouldn't be here today. I was in the hospital for 3 weeks and 2 hours, and I had to learn to walk, I had to learn to talk, I had to learn math again. I had to learn a lot because, I did have a brain concussion. So you can look at our website and you can see some pictures and the insurance took care of all of it. In fact, they still take care of my care currently. My mom had great insurance. I want to provide good insurance to my customers. So that's why I got into the insurance industry, because of my personal experience. So enough about me and Jim. So let's talk about insurance. As I go over some of these coverages, I will show you pictures of parts of the certificates of insurance. There are several parts to a business insurance policy. As you see on the right there, you'll see damage to premises rented to you. Takes care of claims that may happen to your location address. If you rent your location and a candle burns after hours and it catches fire, you will need to repair the interior of your unit per your lease. Medical expenses reimburses others for medical costs or funeral expenses or bodily injury sustained by accident on your premises or near your premises. Sometimes you have extensions of the frontage of your unit, so it depends on what the insurance policy will pay. So you'll have to look into that if you ever get hurt on the premises of a business. Personal advertising injury protects businesses if they are sued for slander, libel, copyright infringement, or a violation of privacy. Never ever download pictures from Google on your website or social media. That is copyright infringement. A lot of these places have the computers and servers get smarter and smarter, and the tracking systems will see that you stole a picture from the internet. So get rid of those off your social media right now as you hear this video. General aggregate is defined as the maximum amount of money an insurer will pay for claims per policy period, and that means per year. Normally, business insurance policies are only for 12 months. Now, products and completed operations coverage helps cover liability claims when you have a manufactured product that you manufacture, and wonder if that gets into a customer's hands and it causes harm. You know, think about microwave ovens. When microwave ovens came out, they did have some challenges. They were blowing up houses, or they were burning houses down, and that was a big deal back then. But it's just an example of a manufactured product causing harm to the customer, and that's what products and completed operations coverage does, is it takes care of that type of claim. So that was general liability. Now let's talk an extension of general liability is a business owner's policy. A business owner's policy is a package policy. A BOP for short has liability within it, and it can add building coverage if you own the building. So it's kind of like a homeowner's policy where you have a package policy. If you have a triple net lease, you are required to provide building coverage to your landlord. I can help you read your lease. Many times people don't think about giving your lease to your business insurance agent. Well, if that business insurance agent didn't ask you for your lease, then you need to call me, because you need to follow the rules of your business and of your lease, because your lease may require you to carry building insurance on your policy. So basically, a BOP can replace your business personal property in case of a fire or water loss, for example. This includes your inventory, your desks, your computers, your cell phone, your tools, if damaged during a claim. That's what a business owner policy does. So let me read to you a few of the most common general liability claims and give you a couple of examples. So a property damage lawsuit example is a catering business. It provides food for a wedding. After setting up the hot food stations at a casino location, one of the flames sets a tablecloth on fire, destroying the table, and then it burned the back wall behind the table. It's not your wall, it's the casino's wall. The venue sues your business for damages. Your general liability policy may help cover the costs associated with that property damage. What about a slip and fall? A slip and fall incident, I say a customer at a business slips and falls after you just mopped the floor. They end up breaking their ankle and they need 2 surgeries to recover. and they can't work. So now they got lost income. So they sue your business for medical costs and lost income. Your general liability coverage could help cover the bodily injury claim. Let's talk about a product liability lawsuit. Say you're a coffee shop or whatever kind of store that sells a product. And say you decide to start selling coffee pots and coffee beans, and you actually manufacture that coffee pot. So a customer buys your coffee pot from you, and they get burned from the hot water because of a faulty design. They sue your business to cover their medical bills. Products and completed operations on your general liability policy most likely will take care of this. So talk to your claims adjuster if you need to get additional information. So if a product you sell hurts someone or damages their property, your product liability insurance may help provide coverage. So have them look at your general liability policy and see what parts of the policy could help pay for the cost of the claim. What about a customer injury lawsuit? A customer at your medical office trips over an extension cord on the floor in the waiting room. They go to an urgent care center for treatment where they've diagnosed with a broken hand. Your customer sues you to help recover their treatment costs. With general liability coverages, this kind of claim and lawsuit may be covered. Here's what you learn from all these examples. General liability insurance can give your business peace of mind, knowing that you have the right protection for unpredictable moments. Even if a claim happens, you still need to continue your business operations. So your business insurance company will take over and pay the claims that happen by accident so you can continue your business. General liability will help your business from having to close the doors for any future lawsuits that may happen. So you want to have a good policy, and you want to just not have a policy, you want to have the right policy. That's what our agency does for our customers. So let's talk a little bit about workers' compensation, which is another business insurance policy that you need to have as a business, especially if you have employees or independent contractors. Workers' compensation, or workers' comp for short, provides wage replacement and medical benefits to the employees injured on the job, to your employees. The benefit to have workers' compensation in Nevada is your employees must get medical remedy from the workers' compensation policy. They cannot sue you. Let me say that again. They cannot sue you if you have workers' compensation. If you do not have workers' compensation, open your wallet. Okay? Lawyers, they'll probably hire a lawyer. I do have referrals that I have great lawyers that can help you. So give me a call and I'll give you a referral. Workers' compensation does protect your business because your employees relinquish the right to sue you, the employer. The statute is called exclusive remedy. That is why you should have workers' compensation, to protect your business. Your business is yours, so protect it with workers' compensation. We probably need to talk a little bit about independent contractors in a meeting if you think independent contractors are the way to hire employees. Let me tell you, if an independent contractor, just because you want the employee to pay the taxes, that doesn't make them an independent contractor. In the state of Nevada, workers' compensation is required if you have independent contractors with no insurance of their own, subcontractors, and anybody that does work for your business that doesn't have their own business insurance. An independent contractor is not an independent enterprise. So if I'm working for you and I become your insurance agent, I have my own insurance. Therefore, I am an independent enterprise. So I am not on your payroll. But if I didn't have my own insurance and I was doing work for you, believe it or not, I should be on your payroll per workers' compensation laws and the Department of Business and Industry, located on Green Valley and Windmill. So you may want to have a conversation with them and before you get shut down, because if you do not have workers' compensation, you can get sued. You can get sued. And if an employee does get hurt on the job and you do not have workers' compensation, you could be fined by the Department of Business Industry of a minimum of, well, actually up to $15,000 plus other administrative costs. Plus, the Department of Business and Industry will shut your business down until you acquire workers' compensation. And on top of that, if you have an employee that does get hurt on the job without workers' compensation, you could be subject to criminal penalties. So hiring your employees as independent contractors when they don't have an independent enterprise to provide you with an additional insured status on their policy is breaking the laws of the state of Nevada. So please be careful. Now, workers' compensation does have 3 sections. So here's what would happen if your employee did get hurt on the job. Section 1 is for employer's liability, for medical care to the employees. The workers' compensation will pay for all medical expenses. There is no cap to medical expenses, no matter how much they need to pay. Section 2 is liability to the family members who get harmed after the family gets hurt, after the employee gets hurt. So the family kind of sort of gets mad that their loved one got hurt on the job at your place of business. So now the family of the employee who got hurt cannot, they lose companionship, or what if they lose comfort? What if they lose the ability to have sex with their spouse? What if they can't play with the kids? These are all social norms that you can't take away from a person. So your business probably will get sued for loss of consortium. You may want to talk to your lawyer about that, but loss of consortium is a big deal when somebody gets hurt on the job and they cannot perform their normal daily duties to their family. So Section 3 is for all states coverage, or all states liability. Say you and your employee decide to drive to New Mexico or a local state, California, or say Arizona, and your employee gets hurt on the job. Doesn't matter how he gets hurt, he got hurt. Well, for workers' compensation law, by the time you talk to your claims adjuster, your employee could decide where could he get the most benefit. Should he use California law? Should he use the Nevada law? Should he use Arizona law? So he can determine where he can get the most payback for his injuries by using state law. Many people that I see who have bought workers' compensation on their own usually buy minimum limits because, even with personal insurance, personal auto insurance, approximately 60% of the valley has minimum limits for car insurance. Well, you shouldn't do that with workers' compensation. That is actually not a right way to buy workers' compensation. Never, ever buy minimum limits for workers' compensation. All you're going to do is save $125 a year, but the problem is that you're going to expose your business to a possible lawsuit of probably $900,000 in claims later on when you get sued because you didn't have the statutory limits of $1 million in Nevada. Nevada is very special for rating purposes on top of that. $36,000 is the max payroll that is rated per employee on a workers' compensation policy. If an employee does get hurt on the job, if an employee makes less than $36,000, the $36,000 cap, then their true payroll should be reported. If every employee makes more than $36,000, you are only rated up to $36,000. So make sure you do your audits right. Employers who do not provide workers' compensation will be charged, I'm going to say this again, will be charged an administrative fine of up to $15,000 plus appropriate premium penalties when they get caught without workers' compensation and they have employees working for them when they do not have their own business insurance to provide to you as an additional insured. The Department of Business and Industry may order you to close your doors until workers' compensation has been obtained. If you do not have workers' compensation at the time of injury to your employee, you may be subject to criminal penalties. So if you don't have it, give us a call. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's talk about commercial auto now. Let's talk something so serious, although this is still serious. Will a claim in a commercial auto policy, so a business owns a car in the business name, and basically, will that claim be a commercial auto claim for medical injuries, or will it be a workers' compensation claim? Let's talk about this. If an employee is assigned a car and he uses it all the time, he's not necessarily using that car for business use all the time. Sometimes he drives to the grocery store, sometimes he's driving home, sometimes he's going to the grocery store. When he takes that car home after business hours and a claim happens, you better have uninsured, underinsured motorists, because now that's a personal use of that commercial auto policy. You need to have uninsured motorists when a car is taken home. If you don't want to worry about that, make sure the car is not used 100% of the time and it's kept at the business location after hours. So if you don't have uninsured, underinsured motorists, you have no coverage to pay that medical claim that I just explained. If a claim does happen while the employee is using the car during business hours, the medical benefits will come from workers' compensation because he's on the job. Now, every scenario, you always need to talk to an attorney. Every policy has wording in it that you need to follow the policy that you signed for when you bought the policy at the time of binding. So make sure you follow the laws and the rules that are in your policy that you bought. Okay. Now, a coverage that every business should have for as little as $125 a year is hired and non-owned auto coverage. It covers the vehicles hired auto covers the vehicles that you rent from a rental agency. That means you don't have to buy the insurance at the rental agency if you have hired auto on your general liability policy or your commercial auto policy, or even your business owner policy may have it. So you may want to look at your declarations page and see if you have that when you're renting a vehicle at a rental agency. Non-owned auto coverage covers your employees' vehicles that are used to go see customers away from the office or going to the bank and picking up supplies. When they are doing business endeavors in their own personal car, they're literally in your care, custody, and control of your business. So if they get into an accident, hired auto and non-owned auto will take care of the injuries. And if you set it up right, it'll even take care of the property damage. You have to pay a little bit more premium, but you have to sit down with your agent and make sure that that's done right. Or better yet, call Get Help with Insurance, 702-511-0882 or gethelpwithinsurance.net. So let's talk about commercial property. Commercial properties insurance helps protect your owned or your rented building when you have a triple net lease. A triple net lease means that you're paying taxes, insurance, and CAMs. So basically, a commercial property insurance helps protect your owned or rented building, plus your tools and equipments and any other supplies that helps you operate your business. It covers losses from many sources such as fire, burglary, theft, wind and lightning, and whatever else the policy does declare. Commercial building insurance helps protect your business physical asset, such as your building itself, equipment, your business equipment, your tools, your inventory, your furniture, or personal property of your customers if their personal property gets caught in the building when the claim happens. So if it gets damaged, then some policies will pay those types of claims. Everything's according to the policy that you bought. And that's what we look at. You know, when you come to me, I always ask you to let me see your policy and I'll go over with you what your policy covers and what it doesn't. So let's talk about professional liability. Professional liability insurance coverage gives your business protection from the risk you face delivering your professional services. So if you have a license, you have a business license, and you have to pass a board exam and you get a license, you need to have professional liability. Now, let me tell you something here. Professional liability is exactly the same as errors and omissions, and it's exactly the same as malpractice. So depending on your industry, your business may call it professional liability. Some businesses will call it errors and omissions, and some businesses will call it malpractice, like doctors or nurse practitioners, things like that. So if you provide a professional service or you regularly give third-party advice to clients, you need professional liability. Professional liability insurance covers the costs of clients' lawsuits claiming substandard work from your agency, from your business. A client may claim your negligence caused them financial harm. And a client that thinks you cost them money, guess what? May take legal action in hopes of recovering their losses. Always follow the policy, and please make sure you read your policy after you buy it, because it's important for you to know what you bought. So read it. How many of you think you could be sued for millions of dollars if you caused harm to somebody? And this is where people become quiet, and it's impossible to predict whether you might lose a lawsuit resulting from a car accident or an accident on your business property, or anywhere that you could possibly predict that a lawsuit will happen in your business location. So my website has several examples of claims, so check out the possibilities. That's gethelpwithinsurance.net. It is also impossible, remember, to predict the amount that might be awarded to a winning party, especially if a lawyer is brought in. An amount that you could not it couldn't even be responsible or reasonable to pay. So will your policy cover you? I don't know, but having an umbrella policy or an excess policy is very important to have if you think that you could be sued for a lot of money. To protect yourself against the possibility of a devastating financial loss from these unforeseen events, you may want to purchase an umbrella or an excess policy. An umbrella is very unusual. An umbrella in a business insurance policy can sometimes, listen to me, sometimes cover things that the underlying policy does not cover. So you have to read the language of the policy. An excess policy is an excess liability. So say you have your $1 million per occurrence on your general liability and you have your $2 million aggregate. Well, if you get a $2 million umbrella, now you have $3 million per occurrence and $4 million aggregate for your liability coverage. So we can do umbrella coverages. We can do umbrella policies for millions and millions of dollars. So we have access to companies that can help you get what you believe you need. And I mean, you will have to defend why you need it. So we will need, statements. We'll need, documentation to prove that you need this much coverage. I can go over that in person. So let's look at an example of why you need an umbrella. So let's say one of your employees gets into a car accident while making a delivery to a customer. That property damage and the bodily injury costs may exceed your business commercial auto liability limits because you happen to hit a person that makes a lot of money. And they have 2 kids that are 2 years old and 4 years old. And they're only 40 years old. And now you have literally either killed them or you made them not able to work anymore. There's a lot of things that can go on here. So I call the umbrella policy a lawyer protection policy. This helps take care of what a lawyer will win for a claimant. Do you want to pay the claim, or will you have to get 2 and 3, 4 jobs to make sure that you can pay back the winnings that a lawyer will get for a claimant that you hit? I will never forget an insurance company I know paid $2.6 million to a family after a garage truck hit one of the kids who ran after their ball into the street. happened split second, but that family got $2.6 million from the business insurance of that truck. It may have been a garage truck. It may have been, any type of truck. I actually don't remember the details on that, but it was a commercial vehicle. So Get Help with Insurance provides commercial surety bonds in Nevada. You can go to our website, gethelpwithinsurance.net, and you can get quotes from 30 companies for your surety bond needs. In a couple of minutes, you put your information in, and then you can even buy it. But you're quoting 30 companies in one instance. So surety bonds, what is a surety bond? I get questions like this all the time. Surety bonds are a promise to pay one party a certain amount if a second party fails to fulfill an obligation or terms of a contract. A surety bond is a contract between a principal, that would be you, your business, a surety company, which would be the insurance company that bonds you, and then an obligee, the entity requiring the bond. This could be your licensing board. This could be the contractor's board. This could be any kind of organization that makes you get a license, like a doctor, a lawyer, an insurance agent, pet groomers. I have a list of companies that should have surety bonds on my policy, on my website. Sorry about that. And then even just give us a call. And if you have documentation that's requiring you to be bonded, we'll need to know we'll need to know you, the principal. We'll need to know the surety. Then we'll find you a surety company that will take care of it. And then the obligee will need to know who is requiring you so that we can notify them that you are now bonded. So this could be the DMV. It could be the contractor's board. It could be a licensing board. Here's an example. So say you pay a contractor to build a swimming pool. Okay, so he tells you it's going to cost $40,000, and he wants 50% down so he can go and buy supplies and things like that so he can get started on the job. Well, you give him $20,000, the check clears, but then you never hear from him again. Hopefully you got copies of his insurance policy, you got a certificate of insurance, and then you called the insurance company to verify that he had insurance and it was in force. And because that'll be on the top right-hand side of the certificate of insurance. And then you call the bond company and you make sure that the bond is in force. And I can always help you do this if you need help. But then you pay the contractor to make sure that he's going to deliver on his promises. But a surety bond will take care of you if you verify that it's in force. So that's what a surety bond is. So just go to our website and you can get quotes if you need a surety bond. So when you come to us and you want us to quote your insurance, here's what's going to happen. You give us your insurance information once. We then go shopping for you. Remember, shopping for insurance is not like buying milk. It has to be done right. We do all the work for you. So you give us your information once, and then we go shopping at a lot of insurance companies, as you can see here on the screen. Many of these companies have been around since the 1800s. You may not have heard of them because they don't advertise. They don't need to advertise. Insurance companies that advertise a lot have to advertise because they need income. They need income. That's why people advertise, so that they could get people to buy from them. The independent insurance arm sells more business insurance than all the exclusive companies combined, according to the statistics I get from Trusted Choice Association. They give us assistance in every aspect of insurance. That is why we switched to become an independent agent. We see it more and more each and every day. Are there times that we can't beat your rate? Sometimes, but it is what it is. Give us a shot and we'll try to beat your insurance rate and give you more coverage. These companies don't need to advertise. You may not have heard of them, but they are all good at what they do, and my website gives info about each. We make shopping for your insurance a heck of a lot easier. The old way to shop for insurance is to call one company or agent, you give them your information, you find out the rate, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, you decide to call another company, and then you get their insurance rate, you give your information, then you get their insurance rate, and maybe you have to do it again. So we saw that as farmers agents and that's why we basically went independent. Shopping for insurance is a pain for business insurance. It does take a lot of work, but we get it done right. An independent agent like us can get it done easier for you. We recommend that you reach out to us either 2 months before your renewal is going on, so we can effectively shop your insurance. Most policies do not have a minimum earned premium like personal lines do, so let's go shopping. As our agency grows, we're constantly adding new companies. So I'd like to thank you. Get help with insurance. Get help with your business insurance from Get Help with Insurance. Get Help with Insurance is Trusted Choice recommended. Trusted Choice also, Trusted Choice is, and then we're also affiliated with NIIA, which is Nevada Independent Insurance Agents, also known as the Big I. It's a nonpartisan trade association which provides our member agency tools and resources to assist us to help insurance consumers buy with their insurance needs. We are free to do what is right for you and your business. We are no longer stuck with one insurance company option. We have the tools to find the right insurance policy to protect all layers of your business. So let's sit down, have a consultation via Zoom or in person in my office on Water Street. I will ask you to tell me about your business. What are your concerns with your business, with your customers? I make sure that your business can stay afloat after a claim. There is a right way and a wrong way to get insurance. Having a Trusted Choice agent in your pocket is free to you. The advice is free and valuable to the success of your business. So let's make sure that you're armed with the right insurance protection if you ever face a lawsuit. I hope that I helped you today. Thank you. Give us a call. Our information is below. Let's talk soon. Thank you.